I want you to see this article from Common Dreams. I heard about it earlier today on maybe NPR or some other channel. I don't quite remember. But House GOP panel releases budget that would destroy Social Security as we know it. And here is the big part of this one. A panel comprised of 3/4 of the House Republican caucus released a budget proposed on Wednesday that would raise the Social Security retirement age, cutting benefits across the board while further privatizing Medicare and slashing taxes for the rich, a plan that Democratic lawmakers and progressives advocacy groups said is a clear statement of the GOP's warped priorities ahead of a critical spending fight this fall. The proposal outlined by 175-member Republican Study Committee, RSC, led by Representative Kevin Hearns of Oklahoma, Republican of Oklahoma, would gradually raise Social Security full retirement age, the age at which people are eligible for full Social Security benefits, to not 67, but 69 from the current level of 67 for those born in 1960 or later. The proposal outlined by 175-member Republican Study Committee, RSC, led by Representative Kevin, I read that one. Nancy Altman, the president of Social Security Works, said the RSC budget would destroy Social Security as we know it. Of course it would. Using a modest shortfall that's more than a decade away to justify reducing benefits for millions. In other words, those who were born in 1960, 1965, 1970, who paid under the premise that they will retire. They could early retire at 62, but get full benefits at 67. They changed the pact midstream. But that's not all. We should not be lowering Social Security. Let me read a little piece more, and then I will go into the part that I really need to speak about when it comes to Social Security. Anyhow, these changes would transform Social Security from an earned insurance benefit, which replaces wages lost in the event of old age, disability, or death, into a subsistence level welfare benefit, said Altman, who noted that the RSC rules out any option for raising revenue, such as requiring billionaires to contribute even a penny more. In other words, because these people definitely don't want any more taxes on wealthy people who have been pilfering the working class for decades, they're saying, well, look, we're going to keep the pot the same size. But as we keep the pot the same size, in order to pay these things out, we have to make sure that people work more hours, longer hours, till they're older, till they're close to death. How many friends do you have die at 65? My great good friend died at 65. Another great friend died at 70. So he would have been able to recover 1 year of his Social Security. But here is the deal. Fixing Social Security is simple. Tax all income, absolutely all income. Don't stop at a certain amount, because the people, they stop at what, 400,000? I don't remember how many $1,000s they stop at right now. And all the other people that make billions of dollars every year, they don't pay a penny into the Social Security fund. Right? We are, the people who are trying to cripple Social Security are an evil sect. I want to warn everybody. Again, the panel that came out with that report, given that as marching orders for Social Security and Medicare going forward, was comprised of 178 Republicans. Think about that. That's Republican orthodoxy. This paper must be held up by every progressive. This paper must be held up by every Democrat. and go out there and say, America, you can see what your choices are. A society that takes care of humanity, or a laissez-faire society who only rewards the wealthy. It is important. It is important. Because the wealthy, that they're wealthy doesn't mean that they have created anything. Remember, Donald Trump kids created nothing. Donald Trump created nothing. They were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And that makes them believe that they have earned the right not to pay taxes to make a country run that is responsible for the ability for them to have. The military, the huge military budget, where they have many of their investments in as well, meaning they take tax dollars there as well, is there. That military budget is there to safeguard the wealthy. All the subsidies that we give to farmers ultimately reaches the hands of the wealthy. All the welfare that we give to those who cannot afford their own food, etc., ultimately ends up in the pockets of the wealthy. But they don't want to put any more in. They just want to keep extracting and extracting and extracting. And their stooges are the largest percentage of Republicans and neoliberal Democrats. I am not going to leave Democrats out of there, because when Democrats were in power, they had the power to get rid of the filibuster and start doing what is right by the American people. And if the American people saw a party working for them, if the American people saw a party that said, we will not allow the wealthy to continue pilfering America, there is not another chance that another Republican and neoliberal Democrat would ever win. Because the American people would see, my God, there is a government that is actually working to create an egalitarian society, a society that supports us all. It's not difficult. The solutions are there. But we have to decide if we want to support those who support the policy. But we also have to be able to articulate the policy. We have to be able to inform the American people so that they can understand how economics really work, unlike the lies that they hear on TV. We ought to be able to articulate this in very simple terms. You are working for the wealthy, but the wealthy cannot exist without you. They have no existence without your labor, without your intellect, without your worth. It is important for us to understand that. It is important for us to know that. And when we finally accept our worth, our real worth, then we will take back that which really is ours. So again, take a look at the article. I looked at it and I kept on saying, I can't believe these guys are unintelligent enough to release a report like this, to say what they really stand for, which is the pilfering of the working class. And of course, we're going to have some of the sycophants out there that somehow continue to find a way to support these guys. Kathy Pascal, how are you doing, my beautiful lady? They're hoping you will die. Ask people in their late 60s what it's like to physically work. I was a nurse for 37 years in my 50s. It was getting very hard. I wore back braces, elastic stockings, and running shawl. My body hurt. My beautiful lady, of course your body hurt. We weren't designed to be working this way. We weren't designed to be antiseptic slaves throughout our existence. Thank you for that testimony, Kathy Pascal. That's an important testimony for those who want people to work up until 69. Our efficiency, the productivity rate, Kathy Pascal, has gone through the roof. Michael Rudnan gave us a report yesterday. I wish I had saved the image that showed our wages stagnating as our productivity increased like a rocket. That should have meant, with that increase in productivity, that we could retire earlier. We should set a retirement age of 55. We should have people retiring at 55 with full Social Security benefits. Give the young people a chance to enter the workforce and take over those jobs that too many old people have. Have the old people do kind of the things that we're doing here, promoting intelligence across the internet, doing things that, taking care of our grandkids, having times in the park. Let's use while we still have a good life, while we still have physically a good life, to also have a mental good life. Our productivity dictates it. And guess what else will dictate it? AI. People are scared of AI. If we regulate AI and we put AI to work for us, we can have that 20-hour week, or we can have that 40-hour week for just a few while people retire at 50 years old. And we can have a humanity that really exists to work in your youth. I mean, if you're old and want to continue working, fine. Like somebody like me, I will continue doing this. I will continue writing, blogging, writing books. I will never stop unless I'm physically impaired, mentally impaired. But for the vast majority of Americans, there's no wrong in saying, I want to do other things. Right? And again, our productivity dictates or makes that a possibility, folks. Our technology makes that a possibility, but when you have an economic system that rewards the spoils to the rich, in other words, we created this technology, all of us compositely, we created this technology. We should bear the fruits of the technology. We should be able to stand up and say, look, we can live an easy life after 50 or 55 as technology makes human work less necessary. Let's remember that. I want you guys to understand, let's not continue to allow these guys to rip us off. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.